I cannot believe Roman Reigns said this at the end of SummerSlam Sunday night. And I have some interesting AEW news. Stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick. Thanks for joining me, the voice for you sickos out there. Once again, a special drop here on a Monday because I did want to touch base on the second half of SummerSlam. I told people in the comments that I would recap what happened so you guys don't have to watch it, because I know many of you don't watch WWE stuff. I watch it because, well, I have a pro wrestling channel. I like to give news, and I like to touch base at least on things that are happening in WWE. So for those of you who don't watch it, that watch my channel, can at least keep up to what's going on over there. And well, right up there are the ratings for night 2. On Cage Match, a little higher than night 1, but overall, very underwhelming again. You had probably one of the worst matches I have ever seen for any PLE or pay-per-view, when they used to be called that for WWE, in the monies on the poll, or whatever the hell it was called. Just complete garbage, you guys. And I loved Danhausen in AEW, but WWE is doing what they always do with comedy acts, and they just run it dry, and they run it dry very fast. He's only been there for what? 4 or 5 months, maybe 6, and I'm already sick of it. A lot of people are already turning on him. This was one of the lowest rated matches on Cage Match in WWE history, and Cage Match has been around for a while, well before AEW, so I'm sick and tired of hearing the crap from WWE stans or AEW haters saying like, oh, it's just an AEW website. No, it's not. It's been around well before AEW was established, and there are a lot of really good high-rated WWE matches on there when they're warranted to be rated high. This was not. This wasn't even good comedy. It was cringe comedy. It was complete dog shit. Don't even try and watch the highlights unless you really want to just basically hear nails on a chalkboard is the equivalent, really. So that happened. That was really bad. Every other match felt rushed besides the main event, and I did not like that. Penta and Gable felt like they were just getting started, and I was actually hyped. I was like, holy shit, are we going to see a good match between Chad Gable and Penta at SummerSlam? No, it ended just over 11 minutes. You can see the time there in each match. Every match was under 15 minutes besides the main event, and that is WWE these days, to a T. Their less is more bullshit that they run on. It's really just them saying, we don't have the talent that can go in the ring like AEW can, so we're going to fill weekly Raws and SmackDowns with promos and video packages and 75% of promos in ring, and then have these short-ass matches, and look what happens. Your wrestlers are not conditioned. They get gassed 5 minutes in like CM Punk did on night 1, looking like Undertaker right before he had to retire. Some people are saying he shit himself. I think it was just ass sweat because he was tired. Really quick into the match. That image came from like not even halfway through that match, and that match was under 30 minutes. It was like 25 minutes long. They were the only 2 long matches, and again, they were the main attraction, so to speak, for SummerSlam. Your WWE and World Heavyweight titles, and they were all old men. Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, all in their 40s. Oba Femi is the only highlight that came out of SummerSlam. And the Hell in a Cell was not that good, you guys, from night 1. They didn't utilize the cell one fucking bit. They could have had the same exact outcome throughout the match. Same spots, same everything. And it wouldn't have been any different than if it was a no-holds-barred match or something. Utilize the damn cage if you're going to have a Hell in a Cell. That was a huge flop. And then the rest of the card was just a bunch of meh. So overall, SummerSlam gets a 2 out of 6 cans of whip ass. I think it was very underwhelming, below average show. That's a quick recap for you guys. Mug stole Chad Gable's moment. That was another thing real quick that pissed me off. Chad Gable won in a quick match. I'm glad he won, but it could have been way better. And then they stole the spotlight. TKO had to throw in a Mug advertisement. And you see the screen grab up there of Meltzer. I agree with them. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I agree with him on this. That was stupid of them to do. It stole from his moment, and they just had to have the audacity to throw in advertisement whenever, and it just was pitiful. And now on to the main point of this video. Before I get into some good stuff with AEW, it's some choice words that Roman Reigns said. This is a screenshot from Sean Ross Sapp. I'm reading it off my laptop. You guys will have it up there on the screen. Roman Reigns was asked what did he say to Seth Rollins at the end of their match, because they spoke and no one really knew what he said until this was asked. And he goes on to say, it's always been me and you. Since FCW, Florida Championship Wrestling, for those of you who don't know, since the Red Rooster was bitching at us, I believe that was the old owner, it's always been me and Seth. It's always been the two of us. Here's where it gets interesting. He goes on to say, even in the Shield, we knew what it was. We knew Ambrose was a wild hair, but we knew we were the guys that were going to change this place. We're the pioneers of this place. When people left, when people were scared and they ran off, we held the fort down. It's really when people left, when people were scared and they ran off. He's taking shots at everyone that left WWE. Well, sorry, Roman Reigns. Sorry that Dean Ambrose, the watered down John Moxley variant, isn't a Nepo baby like you and Cody Rhodes, isn't gifted and shoved down our damn throats like you were the first 7 years of your career before people just accepted you because they were tired of it. And then you had one good storyline with the bloodline, and now you guys are running it dry because you had to bring it back because you have no interesting ideas. And not even AI can write good slop for you guys. So, and the funny thing is, Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, now in AEW, was more successful than both of them right from the bat. He was the first of the three to become a Grand Slam champion over there. And not only that, but he's the only one of the three probably ever, because I don't see Seth and Roman ever going to AEW. Maybe long shot Seth. 100% not Roman, because again, nepotism. But he became Grand Slam champ before them in WWE, and he helped pioneer and start AEW, and is a 3-time AEW champ there. He has won the Continental Championship. He has won the International Championship. I believe he's won a Tag Team Championship. He has done it all. And honestly, I think he's more decorated than both of them. You could disagree with me in the comments and say, oh, because he hasn't won as many, multiple world titles or WWE titles in WWE, that no, his AEW accomplishments aren't as big. I would disagree, because I think AEW is just as big, if not bigger, than WWE, and better pro wrestling. So honestly, I think the AEW Championship holds a lot more weight than the PG, sports entertainment-centric WWE Championship holds, and same with the World Heavyweight, because they hardly wrestle. I mean, you saw Liv Morgan at SummerSlam wrestle and defend her belt for the first time in over 100 days. That doesn't happen in AEW, not even when you have guys like MJF as champ. He defended quite a bit with his last run. Let me know down below what you guys think on those choice words by Roman Reigns. And one more thing to tie up WWE before we move to AEW now. This is a screenshot from Drainmaker. Dave Meltzer believes WWE didn't announce this year's SummerSlam attendance due to low number, and I fully agree. Another thing that I'll actually agree with Meltzer on here. And the fact that All In, London, is set to have more fans in Wembley. I'm pretty sure it already has more. I think it's always had more ticket sales. I think they're around 40,000, very shy of 40,000. They're going to surpass 40,000 by the end of this week, because I think something's going to get announced on Dynamite or even Collision. So by Sunday this week, I think they're going to be between 40 and 45,000. And I think it's very likely that they're going to push 50+ thousand at Wembley for All In London. And that is a lot more than you saw at SummerSlam. SummerSlam only sold about 40,000, night 1 and night 2. And again, I say total because you know that most of those people are going to both nights because they cannot afford. Put it this way, why would you pay those astronomical prices? And I know they lowered prices to get people to actually go, because their sales were abysmally bad before they did that. And even then, they couldn't sell it out. And this is WWE I'm talking about. So it's a bigger issue here because they've been around for decades versus a 7-year-old company. And they couldn't sell it out. Even for $25 tickets for nosebleeds, still wasn't enough. The US Bank Stadium holds 70,000 people when it's set up like this, and they only had about 40,000 for night 2. I think it was like 39,000. Night 1 had a little less. So they left 40% roughly of that stadium empty. And if you watch SummerSlam and suffered through it like I did, SufferSlam, you saw that they just never panned to that side because it was all tarped off. But I saw photos out there. I'm sure you've seen photos out there. It looked really, really bad. And if WWE stands are going to give AEW shit for this, where they're probably not going to sell at Wembley, but that's fine. 7-year-old company versus a company that has been the mainstay and the staple of pro wrestling for decades. And that is a huge difference. And it's way worse of a look for WWE to have that bad of ticket sales for their arguably second biggest show every year versus a 7-year-old company doing All In for, I think, only its 5th time. I mean, you could argue with me and say I'm wrong, but I think it's a stark difference. Now into AEW stuff for the remainder of the video. Wrestle Dream was announced Saturday, October 17th. I am very excited that it's on a Saturday. I much prefer the Saturday shows, but I do hope that for the Sunday shows going forward, we see what they did for Redemption. Although Redemption wasn't the best show, I did really like that it started an hour earlier. Now we don't need it to be 5 hours long per se. Keep it around the 4-hour, 4.5 max mark for their shows, and that'd be fine for Sundays. Saturday, though, I don't care. I don't work Sundays. I'm excited for this. This should be really good. It's in Orlando, Florida, at the Edition Arena. Solid size arena, and I'm pretty sure they're going to sell out because AEW is hot right now. Let me know down below some Wrestle Dream matches that you'd like to see. Before I go on any further, like, comment, and subscribe this video, and again, I appreciate it if you would hype this video. The more of you that hype on mobile, the better these videos do of mine, and the more we can get to join the STS Society, so I'd really appreciate it. Again, it's only allowed on mobile devices, so if you're watching on TV or desktop or a tablet, unfortunately you can't. But for those of you who are watching on mobile, I would much appreciate it. Now going on to an event that's happening later on this summer as well in August in Arena, Mexico. Semana Internacional. We got Kyle Fletcher versus Mascara Dorada. That should be really good. Kevin Knight versus Teton. You got Commander in action. I mean, look at that. That is a huge list. And CMLL, to bring them up to tie in with this AEW thing right here, look at this stat. They break the all-time record for most sellouts of a 10,000 seat building in a single arena for a calendar year of any company ever. That is beautiful for CMLL. Their partnership with AEW is doing it wonders. And then here's the juicy thing that I have today for you for AEW. Unfortunate for me because I really like him. Max Caster's AEW contract is set to expire in October later this year. Caster has wrestled 0 matches in 2026 for AEW. I know there was a match that happened a few months back with him and Bowens on an indie promotion, and there was something that was said afterwards by Bowens, I believe, saying something along the lines of, this may be the last time we wrestle each other in the ring. I don't know when I'll see you again, something like that. So it all but likely seems that Max Caster's on his way out, which is unfortunate. I really, really liked the Acclaimed a lot. They were one of my favorite tag teams early on in AEW, and Max Caster was fun. He was very, very fun. Although I do get that he's getting older. He's 37. Maybe that plays a small factor. Maybe something backstage happened. I really don't know what else it could be. I don't have any more information for you guys on it, unfortunately, but nonetheless, I am going to miss Max Caster if he ends up leaving. Let me know down below if you think he ends up re-signing and maybe reuniting with Anthony Bowens, or do you think he's out? And if so, where do you think he goes? And lastly on this video, MLP Mayhem with Adam Copeland coming up Wednesday on TSN. I'll be watching it Thursdays because it's late at night on Wednesdays, but for you up in Canada, if you're able to watch it, enjoy it. I'll be watching it Thursday, and I'll be talking about it later on this week. You got a great card for that, and again, highlighted by Adam Copeland at MLP Mayhem. This is a great grab for them, and I'm going to double down, probably triple down at this point, what I said multiple times on my channel now. I think MLP, by the end of this year, is going to be bigger than TNA. That's all I had in this episode of Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on the choice words by Roman Reigns. If you watched SummerSlam, let me know what you thought about it. And let me know what you're most excited for on this upcoming Grand Slam Mexico. As always, this has been Maverick from Screw the Script. Remember to screw the script. Thanks for watching.